Part 1: The Harbinger of Death. In the silent void between life and the beyond, there existed a being known only as the Reaper. Cloaked in shadows, with eyes that burned like dying stars, he had walked the earth for eons, collecting souls and guiding them to their final rest. His scythe, forged in the abyss, never dulled, and his presence brought an unnatural chill. But the Reaper was not just a mindless spectre. Though bound by duty, he had a heart, if one could call it that, a sliver of something ancient and longing. Over time, he had grown weary of his endless task. He had seen the fear in mortal eyes, heard their final whispered regrets. Some begged, some cursed him, but none could escape him. One evening, under a blood-red moon, the Reaper was summoned to a quiet village. A plague had swept through the land, and he had come to collect the fallen. But as he moved through the mist-covered streets, he sensed something unusual. One soul was not yet ready. In a small cottage, a girl lay on the brink of death, her breath shallow. But unlike others, she did not flinch at his presence. Instead, she opened her weary eyes and met his gaze. "I know who you are," she whispered, "and I have a bargain for you." The Reaper hesitated. No mortal had ever spoken to him this way. "You cannot bargain with death," he replied. "But I can," she insisted. "Spare me, and I will give you something you've never had." Curious, the Reaper knelt beside her. "And what is that?" "A name." For the first time in eternity, the Reaper felt something stir inside him. Part 2: The Price of a Name. The girl's name was Evelyn. And despite being at death's door, she radiated a quiet strength. She told the Reaper that she had been an orphan, left to survive on her own in a world that did not care for the weak. Yet, she had never feared death, only the idea of being forgotten. "If you take me now," she said, "I will be just another lost soul. But if you let me live, I will name you, and you will be more than just a shadow." The Reaper knew this was madness. He had never needed a name, nor had he ever been given the choice to spare a soul. But something in Evelyn's voice made him hesitate. For the first time in his existence, he defied his nature. He lowered his scythe and stepped back. As days passed, Evelyn recovered. The Reaper lingered, watching over her in the darkness, unseen yet always present. True to her word, she gave him a name, Azrael. The name burned into his essence, changing him in ways he could not understand. But defying fate had consequences. The moment he spared Evelyn, the balance of the universe shifted. Shadows whispered of his defiance, and the otherworldly forces that governed existence took notice. Soon, something far more ancient and terrifying than even the Reaper came hunting for him. Part 3: The Reckoning. The sky darkened unnaturally as a presence descended upon the village. The air grew thick with a silence so heavy it crushed the soul. From the abyss came the Void Keeper, an entity older than time. The one who ensured that death remained absolute. "You have broken the laws," the Keeper's voice rumbled like a storm. "No soul escapes its fate. You are no longer fit to wield the scythe." Azrael knew what this meant. He had been given existence to serve, not to choose. And now, he had a choice to make, one that would either doom Evelyn or himself. He looked at the girl, who now stood strong, unafraid even in the face of such horror. She had given him something precious, a sense of self, a purpose beyond mere duty. Azrael turned to the Keeper. "If a price must be paid, let it be me." The Keeper's hollow eyes gleamed. "Then you will be erased. No memory of you will remain. The world will forget the Reaper ever existed." Evelyn gasped. "No. There must be another way." Azrael looked at her one last time. "I was never meant to be remembered. But you will live." With those final words, the Keeper stretched out a clawed hand, and the darkness swallowed Azrael whole. His scythe fell to the ground, turning to dust. The wind carried his name away, leaving only silence. Evelyn fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. She did not know if it had been a dream or if death itself had truly loved her enough to defy the universe. But she swore she would never forget him. And though the world forgot the Reaper, sometimes on the coldest nights, when the wind howled through the trees, A whisper could be heard in the air, Azrael. The Reaper who chose to be more. The end. Once again, thanks for watching. Like always, like and subscribe.